Good morning. Welcome to Phoebe's Corner. You can call me Miss P or you can call me Phoebe. Either way, I'm going to respond in love. Um, Thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you coming in and being and supporting me from day one. And if you're new to my channel, I welcome you to my channel and ask that you please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and go ahead, like, comment, and share. Please give it a big thumbs up. So today, this is not going to be a purse video. Today, I want to do something a little bit more intimate and a little bit more personal, just to be able to give my point of view and what my experience has been doing my weight loss journey and where I started and where I came from and where I'm at now, and what led up to me actually needing to have gastric bypass. Um, Back in 2010, I was exactly 200 pounds when I got married. And it took me a long time to decide that I was going to do something with my health, because even then my asthma was extremely bad and I was on two inhalers. No, actually, I was on three inhalers, doing breathing treatments 4 times a day, and on a steroid. And let me see. Um, I have, so this is, because all I have is, I don't know how to do the inserting and all that editing to do all that, so I'm just going to show you pictures. But this was me in 2010 on my wedding day. I was exactly 200 pounds. And my bust was a triple E. So I was very large busted. Um, and I was still starting, my GERD had really started getting bad. And I started really seeing like super signs of it back in 2010. And the doctors had told me, like, if you don't lose weight, your asthma, between your asthma and your GERD, is going to kill you. At that time, my asthma was truly, truly the biggest issue for me. So I went on my weight loss journey. I started losing weight, um, and I started incorporating weight training into losing weight, and I was able to get it down. Um, this was me by 2012. And it literally did take me 2 years to get it to here, because I went up and down as far as emotionally, and was fighting, still taking steroids for my asthma, because I know my body and I know that I can lose the weight with working out, because I've always been a workout person. I love exercising, I love weightlifting, and I love being active. Now, too, let me just go ahead and reiterate, this journey is not everybody's journey. My journey is completely different. I'm not telling anybody else how to do anything. I'm not telling anybody else how to lose weight, gain weight, I'm not telling anyone else how to do anything, because your body is your body and you need to do what works for your body. So for my body, weight training and exercise helped me tremendously. Um, so moving forward, so I was able to get the weight off and keep it off, but I fought with it because of being on a steroid for my asthma and being on three inhalers and all of that. Um, and I kind of like maintained 175 pounds. And actually, in this picture, I was exactly 175 pounds. And it doesn't look like it, but I was 175 pounds. And I was still classified as being overweight according to the doctors. And I left that and maintained that. Then my grandmother, who raised me, passed away in 2016. And I did not know what to do with those feelings. I was depressed, and then I was angry. And I know most people, when they go through depression, they stay in the house, or they um, binge food, or, find something that to take their mind off of. For me, it was exercising. I went from going to the gym Monday, Wednesday, or Friday to me going into the gym, and I was going there almost every single day because I did not want to deal with that pain of that loss. And I hadn't lost anybody in a really long time since I was a kid when I lost my brother. And it's the only thing that I knew what to do with that energy. So by that time in 2017, I lost, I went from 175 to 142 pounds within like 6 months. Um, and that is in 2017. I had gotten down to a size four. No, it was an eight. It was size eight. And again, I incorporated weight training and cardio. So I would do um, my weight training first, and then after weight training, when I was done on that day, I always did 30 minutes on a treadmill of cardio. And it was, I won't say it was hard, but it was the only thing that I knew to do with my pain and with everything that I was going through. So by 2018, um, I found out that I had my throat like dropped from throwing up really bad, from having acid reflux, and I had severe erosion. And all of this too, why I was still small. Like I was still, this is in 2018, I was still small and was suffering with GERD really bad. So that July of 2018, I had to go into the hospital to have my throat stretched, which I never even knew that was a thing. I had to go on an antibiotic because my esophagus was just, the erosion was, it was bad. Like for a while, I had to go on another just liquid and really not eat nothing but soft foods to let the erosion kind of heal and give my throat a chance to let the stretching work. And it worked for a while. I think I had like maybe a good, I want to say a good year. So then by 2018, I had to go in for another stretching because my throat, from throwing up acid and getting sick, um, I ended up having to go back in, and they were like, hey, you've got a hiatal hernia. And at that time it was small, so they was like, we're just going to leave that alone, but the erosion is still there. You're going to have to go back onto doing soft foods and a liquid to help your throat heal, because it hurt just to swallow food. It hurt so bad just to try and eat a steak or chicken and rice, just like normal dinners, like anything from, just say I wanted just a small plate of something, of just regular food, I couldn't eat it without the pain. Like it was excruciating to eat. Um, yeah, it was really hard. So, and this is me. I'm going to show you two couple pictures. So this is me in 2019. Um, yeah, I'm still small. And by this time, my GERD is getting really bad. This is me in 2019. And just understand that even though these pictures I'm showing you, I was small, still dealing with chronic GERD. And when I say chronic, it was horrible. I just, it, going to sleep at night, there would be nights where I would cut off my dinner time and dinner would be done and over with at, let's say, by 6:30. I'm trying to get ready for bed. I'm going to bed. It's 9 o'clock at night. By 10:30 at night, I'm up, jumping up, running to the bathroom, and all I am doing is vomiting GERD, like just acid. I mean, there's so much acid. At one point, I had blood, small amounts of blood from the erosion and throwing up acid so much. Then we go into the pandemic. In pandemic, I go in at the pandemic. I'm 142 pounds, still dealing with stressful the amount of GERD that I had. By then, I was only on two medications to take for the GERD and for the acid reflux, and it wasn't working. It just wasn't. So throughout the pandemic, I ended up gaining weight because I mean my routine was also gone of being able to go to the gym and work out. I didn't really have like the home equipment to really like continue and maintain. I actually ended up going into the hospital in March of 2020 because they thought I had COVID. One night my lungs just would not expand right. No matter what breathing treatments I gave myself at home, because I do have a nebulizer. I have three of them: one that I keep in my car, one I keep in the house, and one that I keep at work in my desk, just in the event, because that's how bad my asthma was. And this particular night, it was a Monday night, and my husband came home and he was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I've been having problems breathing all day." And he was like, "Okay." He said, "How many times have you done your breathing treatment?" And I'm like, I've done several. So by that night, by 10:30 that night, I couldn't breathe. Like, I just couldn't do anything. So we had to go to the emergency room, and I ended up getting admitted. So they gave me a nebulizer, antibiotic, no steroid breathing treatment. Then they gave me the nebulizer. Then they said, "Okay, we can't give it to her anymore because we're going to treat her like she has COVID." I immediately got separated from my husband, thrown in the hospital for 6 days uh, on a ward that only people that could deal with me or see me were the doctors taking care of what they thought was COVID, but turned out not to be. And it took 6 days for them to come back to confirm I didn't have COVID, but they still don't know what shut my lungs down so badly. Once they got that test back saying that it wasn't COVID, then I was given back the breathing treatments, the nebulizer, and then at that time I still stayed in an extra day and was on a nebulizer in my room with it tinted, for 24 hours, which actually helped, and my lungs finally gave in and let me breathe better. All mind you, even while in the hospital, when they would allow me to have like soup and soft foods during that time, even that was coming back. So they were asking me, "Did you know that you had GERD this bad?" And I was like, "No, I'm only on two medications." So then at that time, at that time 2020, they gave me a third antacid medication to take. And that was just something, because now I'm becoming dehydrated. So in 2021, still throwing up acid, still on three different medications, they decided, you know what, she's dehydrated. And I ended up going into the emergency room, got admitted for dehydration, had to drink more water, and I'm already a water drinker, so that's never been an issue. But in 2021, this is the size I got up to. I got up to 255 pounds. Um, my asthma got worse. So I was back on, I didn't have the three inhalers, but I was back on two inhalers and a nebulizer on a regular basis. And this is me in 2020. I want to say this has to be last year because Gabe is only 9 and he was 6 at the time. So this is 2022. Yeah, this is spring of 2022. Still 255 pounds. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't really like working out because I was still having problems. Like even exercising, I started throwing up extra. Just trying to go for a walk, a small jog, I would end up throwing up acid. Like it was just crazy. Like I had never experienced anything like this in my life, or even seen or heard anybody having this bad of GERD. So went to the doctor again, and they gave me a fourth antacid medication. Then they told me to take one over the counter. So technically, I was prescribed four. Told to take another one over the counter to also intermittently take in between each one of those medications. And like going to the gym was just not there. So I'm gonna fast forward to 2024 and in January, no, 2023. In 2023, I went to the doctor. I finally got to see a gastric. My PCP got me over to a gastric doctor, and he looked at me and told me that he wanted to do what they call a Bravo test. A Bravo test is where they do an endoscopy and they put a small uh, meter down into your, like they attach it right at the lower part of your esophagus where your stomach is, and you carry a little machine, and you would, before you take a sip, you have to be off of all of your antacid medications for to do this test. So I did that, and it was the worst 10 days of my life. And I sincerely, that it was bad. Like I've never cried so hard every day, because of how much pain I was in dealing with that GERD. But you had to take a sip. Before you take a sip of something, you had to measure. Then you wait about 15 minutes, and then you would hit the machine again, and it would measure what happens when you're sipping, how much acid you're producing when you sip. Then there was one that it measured what your acid reflux is before you eat and after you eat. If you got nauseated before and after when the nausea was over. If you cough, it was sneeze. It was a measurement before and after, which I didn't understand and know that your stomach produces acid through all these different issues. So I take that test, and he proceeds to tell me that they can't give me anything else for my acid, that I am producing enough acid for 3 people, that I'm producing a dangerous amount of acid. They can't figure out why or know why I was doing that. Like I was one of his worst cases. Um, he said it's rare, but it does happen, and he said there was nothing else that they could do for me, and that he would like to me to talk to the surgeon about doing gastric bypass. So I talked to him. I talked to the surgeon. Well, I talked to the doctor, and he said that he also wanted me. Once I saw the surgeon here, he also wanted me to talk to a surgeon in Cleveland Clinic, and he said that these 2 doctors, if he was in my situation, these are the 2 doctors that he would want to see or do his procedure if needed be. So I met with the surgeon here in Columbus, and he agreed with Dr. Yoka that I needed to have gastric bypass. One, it would help with weight loss, but the main thing that it would happen is that it would stop the GERD. He said the way he explained it to me, there are 4 stages to acid reflux. He said, A, there is just, it's minor cases. You can still eat what you want, but you get heartburn here and there. You can take something over the counter, and that would usually fix it. There's B, where you have acid reflux, so you're on maybe now a prescription medication, and you need to uh, kind of really watch what you're eating. Like you need to maybe back off of some things. Then there's C. C is where I was, and C is where it's chronic. You are on medications. You really, all of your diet has completely changed. But at this point, nothing is helping. And then there's D. D takes you to Barrett's disease, and Barrett's disease eventually can lead to cancer. So, in the way he explained it to me, that I was in C, but I was a C plus headed to, uh, no, sorry, it's not C plus, minus C headed to D. And if I head to D, then I wouldn't even qualify for gastric bypass. And by this time, too, that I'm in there talking to the surgeon, and he's explaining where I'm at in this chart, in these 4, he also explains to me that too, I have my stomach has gone from a small hiatal hernia to a large hiatal hernia, where I have a good 60% of my stomach is in my chest and it's paralyzing. So I'm not really this up here. Sometimes I felt like I was having a heart attack because this will hurt and my diaphragm will hurt and spasm from getting sick. Um, the only thing that he said that he would encourage me to do was try to lose more weight before I had surgery. Um, because at that time, then I was up to 255. They wanted me to just lose 25 pounds. I was like, okay, I will do everything that I possibly can to meet the criteria for that. And I just increased my antacid medication um, to be able to exercise so I wouldn't get sick and throw up acid. And I had to find other ways to work out, which meant a lot of low body weightlifting. The lighter part was light, and I had to find other ways to do reverse crunches, which was basically doing leg lifts instead of curling up and doing a crunch, so that I could at least get my core strong enough prepared for surgery. Um, they wanted to fast track me because once I went back in, so in November I started November 2023 I started the program. I had to do 12 visits. But my doctors was like, you don't need the 12 visits because you don't have an issue with food. Food isn't your issue. You're gaining weight because of your medications of being on steroids. Oh, and keep in mind too, during this time in 2008, I was diagnosed with a pituitary tumor. So between dealing with the pituitary tumor and being on different medications for my asthma with the steroids, that was what made me gain the weight. So it wasn't because of food. And there is that one, I am that 1%, and I know someone else, a friend of mine, who is that 1%. We don't have an issue with food. Food isn't the issue for us. It is medication that is driving the weight that we gained, because we don't have a problem with working out. We don't have a problem with exercising, because once we get where we've been and where we are, we like having that as our daily thing in our life and living a healthy lifestyle. So once I was able to find the rhythm of the medications that I needed, I started working out. So the doctor was going to fast track me into the procedure. We'll talk to the insurance company and get me fast tracked because I didn't need all 12. As far as the surgeons were concerned, I didn't need all 12 visits. I just needed to be able to have the surgery to repair and do away with the acid reflux. But the insurance company said no. You still need to uh, you still need to do the visits. So we found out in January that the insurance company said no. So we started getting me back up in the program and in May. But in March of 2024, at 250 at 225, mind you, I lost the 25 pounds that they required me to lose. But I decided that wasn't enough. I needed to do more. I know that I could do more, so I did. So in March of 2024, March 14th of 2024, I started exercising like 3 times a week. I incorporated weight training. In my off day, I would stretch and just do a lot of breathing exercises and stretching on the ball. Um, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, stretch days were on the off days, and then some days I would go ride my bike. So I I say that because in March, by April 30th, I had lost 30 pounds. So then by so mind you, I had my surgery in July. So July the 19th, when I went back in and we were all doing all of these visits, I was dropped my weight had started to drop like drastically. I was incorporating smoothies that I love to make, which consists of sugar-free orange juice, um, not just vegetables, but it consisted of strawberries, mango, turmeric, cinnamon, ginger, lemon in my smoothies. And every smoothie and some low-fat sugar-free yogurt. So I went sugar-free in March, and I stayed that way, and I'm still no sugar. except for the natural sugars that are in the fruit. And my weight just dropped. By the time I went into surgery, from March 2020, I was 225. To the day of my surgery, I was 200.1 pounds. And that was muscle heavy because the day before surgery, I went into the gym and did a full body workout. I lifted, I curled, I crunched, I did everything that my body could handle, and which has also allowed for my recovery to go extremely well. Um, Coming now into present day, Monday was my first day working out, like in the gym. But during from the day I had surgery on July 19th, 2024, I have been walking my neighborhood like every evening as fast as I could that I could tolerate and as much as I could do. And still, the weight has just been dropping and dropping and dropping off. Um, I can honestly say, like in this 1 week, I've lost 7 pounds. On Monday, going into the gym up until today, I wouldn't literally lost 7 pounds like overnight. It's just wild how fast though it drops off. But having the gastric bypass surgery has been the best decision I ever made in my life. To be able to have a quality of life back, that I can sit down. Yes, I may have to eat a little bit slower and drink a little bit slower, but I am not throwing up. I am not sick. I'm not in any pain anymore. I was in an abundance of pain that I cannot begin to describe, of not going anywhere, not hanging out, not even having dinner with my husband because I didn't want to spoil the mood or spoil the moments, because I know that after I eat, and it was never the food that came back, it was always this extra amount of stomach acid that I was constantly battling with. And there were some days where the medication just was a bad day, and my stomach was like, "No, this is all the acid we giving all we got, and you're not going to be able to keep any of this back." So I'm telling my story and explaining it is because I understand that gastric bypass is a bariatric, it is a weight loss thing for most people. But there are some of us out here that isn't our issue. Our issue is that GERD can only be cured by gastric bypass. Um, and for me, it has been the best, the best decision that I could have made for myself, because I was even said to at one point that if I didn't make the change or do something, I may not make it to 55. I'll be 52 years old in October. So I'm not trying to have a short life. I want to be here not just for myself, but I want to be here for my family. Um, I am a I am a very high maintenance, involved grandmother, and I love my grandchildren, and I love being their grandma and being the best grandma and version of myself. I owe that to them. Let me close my window because my lawn guy just got here. Oh, all right, close that up. Sorry about that, but yeah, I had to close the house up because I have my windows open, getting some air. Okay, um, but yeah, I want to be here for my grandchildren. I love exercising. I love being healthy. Is I like being a capable woman. I like being capable to take care of myself, defend myself, play. If I need to take off running from a dog, I want to be able to do those things. If I need to just take off running, period, I want to be able to take off running. And I ran track as a kid, and I still love to run. Like I just showed my husband the other day that I can put up some dust. I can dust some folks. And my grandson decided he wanted to race his Gigi, and I had to let him know like Gigi still got it. Like I'm a sprinter. So I like being able to do those things. And one of the things that I will say that has been very beneficial to this process is that I was able to get my lungs so strong that I was able to come completely off one of the inhalers. I no longer need to do 4 breathing treatments in a day. The only inhaler that I'm required to carry now is my rescue inhaler. Do you know how wonderful that is to be able to say that? And I'm not doing this video to offend anybody. This is still truly just telling you my story, my journey, and where I'm at. And one of my best friends is in the same situation I am in. She actually doesn't even need to lose any weight, but she has a hiatal hernia as well, where her stomach is really protruded up into her stomach. She is suffering with throwing up acid and all that. And we are that 1%. I don't know if it's 1% to 10%, but I know we're not in the same ballpark as what would why someone would need gastric bypass. It's not always about weight loss. It is truly about GERD. Um, I hope, if anything, me telling my story, if there's someone else out there that is going through what me and my best friend are going through, and the insurance company tells you, no, you can't be fast tracked, no, you still have to do the 12 um, visits, don't get discouraged. Stay focused, stay positive. You got this and you can do it. I promise that I know the journey seems long, but once you're on the other side of it, it will be wonderful. Your life will be changed. You will love having the freedom of being able to eat and not feel sick. I really do. I really encourage you not to, don't let go of it. And I know, like, it sometimes it seems really dark. I can honestly tell you there were days that I cried. I cried because I'm trying to understand what these is, why the insurance company would not allow some of us to be fast tracked through the program when we don't need, or it's not a diet issue, it's not a food issue. We're fighting to get rid of the GERD, the acid reflux. Um, and how you do it is it's completely up to you. I just don't want you to not feel like you're going to get any answers or there's no light at the end of the tunnel. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. You will be able to get through it. um, I am actually, come tomorrow, I'm 4 weeks post-op. I just actually had a post-op appointment this morning virtually, and I was given permission that now I can move from soft foods, that I could actually just have food. And let me tell you, it feels so good that I can have chili now and not have to worry about acid reflux. I can have spaghetti and not worry about acid reflux. I can have everything that everybody else has and not worry about getting sick anymore. And that's the reward that you're looking for on the other side of this journey. Um, it is very freeing to be able to have this, it from being on before where you couldn't do that to where I am now. So 4 weeks post-op, I've gone to the gym, was my second day. Again, it was yesterday on Wednesday, and yesterday was just all upper body, um, and small bits of core because I still have some swelling in some of the bigger parts of, on this side of my left side. But overall, I feel great. Like, I know my body's like, yes, we went to the gym and I'm feeling it. But did my stretches this morning and that made it better. And you stay hydrated and drink plenty of water and you will be fine. Um, I wouldn't take this back or go back to where I was before for anything at all. So I hope that this helps someone. And I know there's going to be different people in the comments that may say, they feel like that I'm not bragging. This is my journey. This is what I know others like me in this situation, what they're going through. And I can honestly say that, like, I feel amazing. Like, I really do. I feel amazing. I would just encourage, if you're going to go through this, take bits and pieces from everybody. And I will say, before having gastric bypass or considering doing it, do your homework. I watched surgeries, I watched different documentaries, and I took a little bit from everybody, and I journaled going through this, like what my experience has been, what I've seen, what I've noticed. Um, and let that help you, so that way you're not afraid or you're not shocked by anything. um, I haven't been shocked by anything that my body has responded to, and I haven't been like, and some things I'm looking for, like, I'm like grateful that I haven't gone through them. So journaling your emotions, like, this day I'm not feeling so good, maybe I didn't get enough protein, maybe I didn't get all my vitamins in. All of those things are important for you to keep track of. They say that you will go through a high low of emotions, from um, crying to mad to, I haven't experienced any of that. I'm 4 weeks out and I haven't experienced any of those issues. The only thing that I have experienced is that, um, I say, for that first week coming home, like, I got jittery and got nervous when I thought I wasn't getting enough protein in. And then my second week, when I got, by the third week, when I got moved to soft foods, I was worried about meal prepping. I was able to meal prep. I watched a bunch of meal prep videos, and I was able to meal prep and get everything in, incorporate everything I needed into, um, making sure that I had enough water and enough protein in. So that's what I would tell you. And if anything, in between each one of my meals, I had a protein shake, so that way I made sure I got my protein in. And then I set my watch to sip every 15 minutes. Like, once I got past the 30-minute hold of before and the after part, I just sipped in between everything, so that I always had what I needed in my body. So again, I hope this really helps. Um, I'll probably do another video, like, just showing you, like, the different things that I ate, and the different things that I do throughout the day, as far as working out. But right now, like today, I'm 184 pounds, and yeah, it was actually it was 184.3. And I think a lot of it is muscle weight, because when I weighed myself yesterday, it said that I was 180 pounds. So I also know that muscle is heavier than fat, and you will put on muscle weight. And if you get muscle weight, that's actually good that you would see muscle weight. Muscle weight means that you're burning the fat off of your body, because muscle burns fat. And if you want to lose weight, during this process, it's definitely highly recommended that you absolutely do. You want to do some weightlifting so that muscle can burn. And on top of that, too, like, I haven't had the the hanging skin issue. Um, I have a little bit of tummy stuff, but outside of that, I don't really. And I'm gonna stand up and show you just a little bit. So this is, woo, I don't want to fall. This is my stomach thus far, so that you can see. Now I'll lift this up just a little bit. Yeah, so this is what I got so far. Like, I don't have any loose skin. My arms are not. So I was already fairly small and toned, prior to doing, the program, because I had already lost 60 pounds. Um, I can't think of anything else to say or to tell you, other than I hope that my journey helps you. Don't get discouraged. Keep going. Believe in yourself. Play this. I believe in you, and you should believe in yourself, because if you've gotten this far, then you're halfway there. You're going to achieve your goal. Don't let anybody else discourage you. The one thing I did do is, any negative comments, anything, any energy that anybody was trying to give to me negatively, I wouldn't have it. I don't tolerate it. I won't do it because this is my life. This is my mindset. This is my body. And my body and my life is for me and for my family and for the people that love me. And I'm going to be the best version of myself for me and for my family and for my friends. That is my responsibility in life, is to be the best version of me, for me first and then for them. And I'm going to love me the way that God loves me. And I'm going to take care of myself the way that God takes care of me. Because who am I to just throw away this beautiful life and this flesh that He gave me as a gift? Didn't have to, but He did. So my responsibility is to take care of it and love it the way that He loves me. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I want you to do for yourself. Believe in yourself, love yourself, and know that God loves you the way, and you should love yourself the way that God loves you. And love yourself enough for not just you, but for your family too. That is so important. So I didn't mean for this video to be like super long, but at the same time, I wanted to be able to give you like a true detail of what it has been for me and why I needed to have gastric bypass. It is to cure GERDs, and it was to cure the hiatal hernia I got. And I had to have my sphincter repaired as well because it had been stretched so bad that it had to be repaired and tightened back up so that even if I did have to throw up, I wouldn't have, I won't even ruin the small stomach that has been given. I won't have the issues. Now I've got past the point the erosion is healing, and it's healing really good. And outside of that, I'm well. So just know that you can be in the same spot too. And like I said, I believe in you. Keep going. Don't give up. Don't give up. If you got to cry through it, but don't give up because you will be truly happy with the outcome and it'll be the best decision you ever made for yourself. All right, so I take care. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you want to talk, we can talk in the comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Anything negative will be blocked and deleted because I will not do negativity. This is not for you to bash me or bash anybody else that's in the comments that is trying to do their journey the best way that they know how to do their journey. I won't tolerate that. So, in the meantime, in between time, please stay loving, stay kind, and stay safe. And I wish you well on your journey. And I'll talk to you all soon. Love you. Bye bye.